Our officiating crew, a new group here that we haven't seen before here in Lima. Eric Mogerly, Sean Waterman, and Lawrence Walden doing the honors today with the black and white striped shirts. And it will be Deshaun Lewis jumping it up against the Racers' Willis Mackey Jr. Willis gets the tip, and the Racers have the ball moving right to left. Montez will go to Olsby Mercer at the left point. Olsby looks out top, back to Zach Montez, the freshman out of Pickerington, who actually went to college a couple of years. So even though he's a freshman athletically, he's 21 years old. Mercer misses a 17-footer. Lessing grabs a loose ball for the Racers. To Golson, back to Nate Lessing. Shelby County's all-time leading scorer, Nate Lessing, out of Sidney Fairlawn High School. Back comes Golson left side to Mackey. Good defense, man-to-man by the Saints. Golson a three-try, short on the near side, and the rebound comes to the Saints, and the guy we'll call Z, Zvezda Lilalashvili. To the rim goes T.J. Hunter. Missed the shot. Rebound to Montez of UNOH. Now to Nate Lessing. Lessing in the corner. Mackey's going to hit a three out of the right corner. Willis Mackey Jr. gives the Racers the first points on the Citizens National Bank scoreboard.
Like, it was interesting. Justin Larry was guarding him and backed off, and then he looked at the coach and said, "What do you think?" Like, should I go guard him next time or not?
Deshaun Lewis to Z, back to Lewis for a three ball. He answers. Deshaun Lewis, the junior out of Detroit, ties the ball game at 3.
Lewis, our leading scorer on the year, has 28 threes, so he'll take that shot.
Montez, right wing for the Racers. And Montez, a 17-footer, perfect. Zach Montez hits his first shot of the day. 5-3 Racers. Top of the key is T.J. Hunter. Hunter reverses to the left wing. And Bo LePage took the pass. Now they go to the block, and Hunter. Hunter in the lane, fadeaway 8-footer, a little short. Rebound Willis Mackey. Racers run up the right side. Montez comes to the top of the key, continues his dribble into the paint, weaves to the rim and can't finish, but got his own loose ball and then threw it out of bounds. Yes, he tried to save it going down hard, and a nice sportsmanlike play by Bo LePage to help Zach Montez up after he went into that little well at the end of the gym here at UNOH.
I don't think Montez really wanted to shoot that ball. I think he was trying to create for someone else, but the defense was solid, and he kind of forced to take a tough shot.
Lilalashvili will deliver it left side now to Deshaun Lewis. Lewis top of the key, back to Z, away from the ball, offensive foul, as a blocking foul was called against number, who is that? Can't see the number, 23. Okay, that's Justin Larry, first foul of the ball game.
He did a little flop there, Mike, and it backfired.
Now Isaac Golson for UNOH against some token pressure. They break it ahead to Mercer. Olsby to the right wing. Out top for Nate Lessing. Lessing down the left side of the key to the rim, but short on the right-hand shot from the left side. Rebound LePage. Up quickly to Larry. Back to Bo LePage. Little stutter step cost him a traveling violation and the first turnover of the afternoon.
And the mistake he made there, Mike, he made it, and he was the only one out there at the top of the key. Nobody was near him, so it was just so obvious.
It was pretty obvious,
yeah. Yep. Sometimes you can hide that in traffic.
5-3 Racers. UNOH on the attack. Mackey takes the pass left side. Cross-court pass Golson. Thought about an NBA three. Gets to the rim instead and did not make the shot, but did draw the blocking foul. Well, Isaac had a three look in his eye that time, and then saw a lane open up, and he just put it in high gear, went right to the rim on the right side, drew the foul on Zvezda Lilalashvili.
Golson, a 6'2 freshman from Grand Blanc, Michigan, has gotten a real lesson this year. He has gotten a ton of minutes. He's a freshman playing at the college level now, and he's just learning the game, but you can see there's a lot of upside to Isaac, and he's not where he's going to be. I mean, he's made
That's
a lot
for
of
sure.
mistakes. He's had some turnovers and things. His confidence is sometimes an issue, but he has flashes where he shows that he's going to be an excellent player at this level.
All right, he makes 1 out of 2 at the free throw line. Racers lead again by 3 at 6-3. Bo LePage. Off on the near side to Justin Larry.
Oh, he
back
walked.
to Z on the wing. Well, he might have, but we didn't hear a whistle. Back to Z on the near side. Young man from the state of Georgia. And there's a nice shot inside that finds the bottom of the well for Deshaun Lewis with his 5th point of the day.
A great bounce pass. I didn't think he could get that pass through there, but he did.
Colson now at midcourt, hands to Olsby Mercer. They run to trap him. Back to Golson, and then a cross-court pass. Lessing, a wide-open 3. Count it for Nate Lessing.
That's good to see because Lessing and the leading scorer and Montez both have not shot the ball well from 3 this year, so it's good to see that.
9-5, UNOH, their biggest lead here in the first half. Larry delivers to Z on the left wing. Liloishvili, nothing there. Off to Watson. Watson top of the key. Gives it to T.J. Hunter. Hunter from the foul line threw it all the way off the glass. It's loose, and there's got to be a shot clock violation. Yep, official saw it. Watson threw the ball up like he was trying to lob a pass, and the ball hit the glass, but never the rim, and the shot clock was reset inadvertently by the man at the scorer's table. The official's right on it. That'll be a shot clock violation and the second turnover for Aquinas.
Great defensive stand that time.
Golson bounces it ahead to Zach Montez. Through traffic he goes, gets to the rim, blocked inside. Big play that time defensively by Deshaun Lewis. Racers answer with another Nate Lessing field goal. Build it up from 12 feet straight away. 11-5 Racers.
Lessing gets into the paint, Mike. It's like a shot put the way he put that up, and it had touch.
He has a lot of feel in that painted area. Larry will drive, give it out to Z. He'll pump, and then here's Hunter for 3, and Gahan gets it. T.J. Hunter. So the lead cut in half. Racers up by 3 at 11-8. Olsby Mercer, top of the circle, comes to the left side to Isaac Golson. Golson will drive to the baseline, throw it cross court to Zach Montez. Launches for 3, missed it right rim. Rebound to Z and quickly ahead to Bo LePage. Now Lewis drives. They get it to Larry in the corner. His 3 is good. Justin Larry knocks down a 3 to tie the ball game at 11.
Did that ball bank in?
I don't think so. I think it went right down from the left corner. Montez finds Willis Mackey Jr. and he uses the rim for protection. Goes up on the left side, easy layup.
First time UNOH was able to find Mackey, the 6'8 center, inside one-on-one, and he took advantage of it.
13:45 left. Liloishvili misses. A long rebound tapped outside to Larry. They'll reset now, trailing by 2. The Aquinas College Saints. This was a 5-point game in Grand Rapids earlier. Bounce pass stolen away by the Racers. Mackey shovels to Mercer. Olsby spins left of the key. Nothing there, gives to Golson. Golson drives and tries to get it on the glass unsuccessfully. Comes down and a whistle. It hit the support beam that was out of bounds. That's an interesting call by one of our officials, and we'll get our first media timeout. So we got a break here at Racer Gymnasium. It's UNOH 13 and Aquinas College 11. 13-17 left first half. We're back in 1 minute on UNOHRacers.com at 11:50 WIMA. All right, we're back at the Keep Your Hamburger broadcast booth here at Racer Gymnasium this afternoon on the Citizens National Bank scoreboard. Racers up 2 at 13-11, about 7 minutes into the ball game. And so far, so good for Caleb Williams and company.
Yeah, absolutely. They played it. It's been a good, real well-played game by both teams here. But this is a critical moment in the game because Caleb Williams has gone to his bench and he's brought in 3 players and they're all young, and this is an area where sometimes the racers have had a little trouble scoring.
All right, Laji Samura, Bailey Gardner, Justin Kep all on the floor now for UNOH in the white and maroon. Kep catches in the paint, but it's knocked away, and that's the first racer turnover. And immediately they're going to get a oh, they blow the layup. Tough break that time for the young man for Aquinas who was going, and he's a new player, and that's number 30, Jesse Hills. Or Hillis, I beg your pardon. Here's Bailey Gardner for 3, and that is in and out, back in again for the freshman out of Pittsboro, Indiana.
Gardner is the 3-point shooter on this team, Mike. That's his role.
All right. T.J. Hunter at the top of the key, hands it off. This is the new man on the floor, and he hits a 3, and that's Jesse Hillis, 6'1 freshman from Caledonia. This is the young man, Bob. We'll talk about it as we go on in the ball game, but he can shoot. He's a freshman averaging 9.4 points a ball game, and he's on the floor for 20 seconds, and there's his first 3. 16-14 racers. Some more to Lessing. Lessing is going to drive, get to the rim with the left hand. No. Rebound out of bounds off of a maroon shirt, so it'll be racer ball.
Lessing wanted to draw the foul that time, went in and tried to absorb the blow.
Not so sure he didn't, but they didn't call it.
No.
They're letting him play.
Yeah, they sure are.
Zach Meadows will inbound, 9 to shoot for UNOH. Racers playing with the smaller lineup now with Willis Mackey Jr. on the bench. Here's Montes on the left side, 4 to shoot. Zach fades, fires and misses way short, and that'll be a shot clock violation. Turnover 2 for UNOH officially.
Zach
going to see Miles Patton off of the bench now for Coach Ryan Bertoya. Ryan was an assistant at Aquinas for 3 or 4 years, got the head job 3 years ago, and struggling right now with a fairly young ball club. Here's a play on the right side by Derek Murray. He'll shoot and miss, and the rebound lost control of by Montez, and then another miss from point-blank range inside by Miles Patton. So the Racers dodged 2 bullets that time. Gardner another open 3 and another bingo.
He was unguarded that time. They lost defenders that time, and he was wide open from 3-point range.
Gardner, a 38% free throw or 3-pointer on the year, has the most on the team. 32 coming in. He's now at 34, and that 3 ball by Aquinas is no good. And we're going to get a rebound foul called on Gardner, I think, for pushing off. Gardner tried to box out on that rebound, actually pushed off, so they call him for his first foul, first team foul against UNOH.
He actually had inside position, but he kind of stumbled and then backed into his opponent, pulled the foul.
Another new player on for Aquinas, Truman Hillis, a 6'4 sophomore out of Caledonia, the older brother of Jesse Hillis. One a sophomore, one a freshman. Aquinas ball. Patton out top, and then a whistle. Going to be a racer foul, I believe. Lessing commits the foul, his first, team second. Luluashvili comes back in now, replacing T.J. Hunter. As Aquinas has pretty much a new lineup on the floor. Derek Murray is going to try to get into traffic and turn and shoot and score. Derek Murray, sophomore out of Ann Arbor.
Nice move.
Brings the Saints back within 3 at 19-16. Laji Samora for UNOH. Bounces right side for Zach Montez. Gives to Lessing, back to Samur on the left wing. Cross-court pass is Lessing. He'll catch, go right baseline, shoot and miss. Rebound tipped around and controlled by the Saints. Lessing usually finishes that shot, but not that time. There's a wide open Liliashvili. Nothing there for him, and the rebound just retrieved that time, and a nice play by Derek Murray. So the Racers had position for that rebound, but couldn't come up with it. In traffic, the shot won't go. Kep clears for UNOH. Justin finds Montez. Montez goes right around the defense and then gets pounded. Ooh, my goodness. I hope Zach is all right because he got hammered with a capital H as he went to the glass. Well, Derek Murray was going to make doggone sure he didn't get to the rim that time, Bob.
Yeah, that was that came close to being a N1 foul. I mean, but the refs are letting this go. Lessing has attacked the basket twice and drawn a lot of contact, and they're letting him play.
Montez will shoot two, and the first one's way short. Not like Zach, who's a 70% free throw shooter.
Well, I think that spill to the floor has affected his shot here. And, you know, the other thing that's happened is Montez, who scores at the rim, has amazing ability to get to the rim, has not been able to get to the rim in the second half of this league schedule because he's been scouted now. I mean, they've really shut him down, and they're letting him have that open shot a little bit more. They're just denying him those.
Exactly halfway through the first half. Racers lead 20-16 on the Citizens National Bank scoreboard. Aquinas with the basketball. Out top, Truman Hillis. To the right side for Derek Murray. Murray into the lane, little runner, short, but rebound, stick back is good for number 2, Miles Patton.
This group right now is getting beat up on the offensive boards. They're just not getting missed shots that they should get to.
20-18 Racers. Lessing into a double team. Gives it off to Gardner, and he's fouled, and that'll be an unforced error on the part of Truman Hillis, but they're going to call him for it because Montez went to the ground. And we're going to get another media timeout. So on the Citizens National Bank scoreboard, Racers 20, Aquinas College 18. Back in a minute on UNOHRacers.com and here in Lima on News Radio 1150 WIMA. And with Bob Sagerson, I'm Mike Mullen, back at Racer Gymnasium. 9:25 left in our first half of the men's game here. Women of UNOH lost earlier today, 49-44 to Aquinas. Men trying to avenge a 5-point loss up in Grand Rapids a month ago.
Mike, as I watch this game, these are two very equally challenged teams. I mean, these two teams are going to play a lot of close games if they played 10 times. I think one of the differences I saw in that substitution rotation that happened at about the 13-minute mark was that Aquinas was more athletic than UNOH, and it hurt them on the offensive boards.
All right, Racers have Isaac Golson back on the floor now, and Willis Mackey, a couple of their starters back in. Willis trying to work, dumps it wing left to Lessing. Out top for Gardner, 3 in the air, and off the front rim, no. Mackey tips the rebound and tipped it right to Z. Ahead for the streaking Willis, and a nice play by Nate Lessing to dock it off of Hillis's knee and out of bounds. Wow, they forced the turnover.
That looked like a sure 2-point layup for Aquinas. It was just all hustle by Lessing that made that play.
All right, Logie some more now, back for the Racers. Comes to the left wing, continues his dribble, fires it out top to Lessing. Lessing, right side of the key. In traffic, shoots it anyway, missed, got his miss and tipped it in.
Muscled his way past two Aquinas players.
Nate Lessing with that linebacker type body of his got it the miss and just tipped it right big and off the glass. 22-18 UNOH. Liloashvili delivers on the right side to Truman Hillis. Out top now to Derek Murray. Murray off of the window and in from 8 feet on the right wing.
Boy, Murray has come in and established himself in the offensive end. He's not afraid to go one-on-one against anybody.
Only averaging 5.9 a game, but has 4 here in just a couple of minutes on the floor. 22-20 Racers. Bailey Gardner to Lessing. Open 3 ball. No, off the right side. Rebound Aquinas. And then the ball's knocked loose by Golson, but recovered by the Saints in the backcourt. They push it ahead. They get to the rim, and they go in and out. That's a tough break that time for number 30, Jesse Hillis, who got to the rim and had it just squirm out on him. Willis Mackey rebounded for the Racers, who have it in the half court, leading by 2 at the 7:35 mark first half. Pass to Mackey, knocked out of his hands, out of bounds by Miles Patton.
Aquinas is very aware of where Mackey is all the time, Mike, and because of that, the Racers are going to get a lot of looks from 3. They've already had a lot of looks from 3. They're gambling that the Racers can't hit that shot consistently.
Nate Lessing getting a first rest of the first half now for the Racers. Zach Montes back on the floor along with Tanner Eubank, who's in the game for the first time. And Olsby Mercer, one of the starters, comes back for UNOH. Golson, a pump fake at the top of the key. Now to Olsby Mercer. Left side pass to Montes. 3 to shoot. Eubank got to put it on the glass and does. Didn't get it, but the tip in is good by Olsby Mercer. A little luck that time for the Racers. They almost ran out of shot clock, and then Mercer got a good tip. Aquinas now, top of the key. Deshaun Lewis, a foul line jumper, won't fall. Rebound Montez Racers.
Aquinas has missed some shots the last 2 or 3 times now that looked like they were going in.
4-point Racer lead. They've led by as many as 6, and a whistle along the baseline. Zach Montes got 1 foot on the chalk. So that's out of bounds and an unforced error on trying to drive the baseline for Zach Montes. 3rd turnover for UNOH.
Aquinas' offense is really interesting, Mike. They don't do a lot of movement. They do a lot of penetration. Every player who catches the ball looks to drive to the paint and create offense. They're very one-on-one oriented, but they're very athletic and quick, and they can get by their defenders.
Deshaun Lewis, their leading scorer, has the ball now. Now off to Taylor White, who's the first time we've seen him today. He's a 6'2 junior out of Addison. Lewis has it, left of the key, and they throw it away. Went right through the wicket of Taylor White. Turnover 4 for the Saints. Well, now we got an overrule. Well, that's a tough call to make from that far away. I mean, the ball went what looked like right through the open stance of Justin Larry, and the official 2 feet away gave the ball to UNOH, but the trail official overruled the call, and now we've got the lead official. So they're going to set the shot clock at 5. So they will give the ball back, but they're going to take some time off the shot clock. So they got to shoot quickly. 4, 3, 2, 1. See you later. That's a shot clock violation. Turnover anyway.
Great defense. And Mike, as I often do, I'm looking at this bench, and I've seen that Aquinas has rotated 10 people into the game, giving our starters a lot of rest. UNOH does not have that advantage.
Well, they've played 10 already, so they've gone as deep as they can go right now. Here's Willis Mackey with a shot for 15, no good from the right point. Rebounded by Aquinas. They trail by 4, the Saints do. Here's Deshaun Lewis into traffic and a whistle. A late call. And an offensive foul is called against Deshaun Lewis. There was a lot of body contact, and Mackey went to the floor for UNOH, but you never know whether they're going to say that's a flop or that's a charge. They called the charge on Deshaun Lewis, his first.
That's good because Mackey needs to stay out of foul trouble against this team.
So It's also the 5th Racer turnover, and now Aquinas turnover, but now the Racers give it up on an offensive foul.
I jinxed him. It's on Mackey.
First foul on Willis Mackey Jr., and the Racers turnover is their 4th.
He came across the key and was battling for position, and one of the defenders got knocked to the floor.
5:50 left first half. Racers lead 24-20 on the Citizens National Bank scoreboard. Stay with us at halftime. Mike Armbruster, the women's coach here at UNOH, will talk about game 1 today, a tough loss by 5 to the Aquinas women. All courtesy of Ken Page State Farm Insurance. On the coach's comment segment, Lewis will deliver the pass left side to Justin Larry. Now on the wing to TJ Hunter. Little spin move and a fade 12-footer, no good. Tip try, no. Montez clears it for the Racers, but they take it right away from him. Tough play by Aquinas. Hunter a shot for 3. That's off target. Loose ball controlled by Tanner Eubank of UNOH.
Aquinas really hits the offensive board.
They do, and if they don't get to the board, they go right for your hands and try to rip it out of your hands, and they've done that a couple of times. Here's Eubank through traffic. Mackey an open 3. Yes, Willis top of the key. His 2nd of the game. He's got 8. 27-20 now. Back quickly. They get the ball inside to number 23, Justin Larry. And he quickly answers for Aquinas to make it a 5-point game.
And that time somebody just lost the person they were guarding.
Montez on the right side for UNOH. Will drive baseline, lay it up and in. Zach Montez elevates and scores.
Got to the rim that time. When he gets to the rim, he's a tremendous player.
Now a 7-point lead, biggest of the day for UNOH. 29-22 against a team they lost to by 5 in Grand Rapids a month ago. Wing right, long 3 from the corner for the Saints is good, and that is Justin Larry. And he has 8 points on the afternoon. 29-25 Racers at the 4-minute mark. UNOH going to call a 30-second timeout. We'll take a break as well. Back in 30 with the Racers up 4 on 1150 WIMA. Good time out there by Caleb Williams of UNOH. Give his team just a little bit of a breather. They often play these games in 5 4-minute segments at the college level in a half, and we're down to the last segment now. We go to the final 4 minutes. Racers lead by 4. Couple of instructions from the head coach. Willis Mackey has it at the right point to Montez. Montez gets to the rim in traffic. Didn't get the shot to fall against good defensive pressure from the maroon and gray, and now back come the Saints trailing by 4. And there's a takeaway on a steal by Olsby Mercer. Turnover 6 against Aquinas. Mercer going to go to the glass and not finish. Overlaid it a little bit. Lead out pass finds Luashvili. He will miss, and then the rebound got slapped right back to him. He'll come back out top and reset. I think that Bo LePage that was on that play, not Luashvili. They're very similar appearance-wise. And numbers are kind of hard to read with the gray on the maroon here. That shot misses for the Saints, and ahead it comes for UNOH to Zach Montez. 3 minutes and change left in the half. 29-25 in favor of the home team. Montez delivers right side to Golson, in the corner to Tanner Eubank. He'll drive and shoot it short. Rebound out of bounds off of a Racer. Tanner Eubank started the year, Bob, is the starting point guard for UNOH, but he doesn't have the ability to score a lot.
No.
And so Caleb Williams has had to use him mostly off the bench now.
Right. He's a good defender. He's got a good handle, and he can get to the rim. He just doesn't have that scorer's finish.
All right. Aquinas ball, still a 4-point Racer lead. Lewis got into the paint, but decided to go to a teammate for a 3 try. That's no good. Boy, Deshaun Lewis was right at the rim and didn't shoot it. And the Racers will take that anytime. Because Deshaun's their leading scorer, and he's been held to just 3 points so far here in the first half. Olsby Mercer behind a screen from Justin Kep. 2:25 left. Lessing takes the pass. Finds Eubank in the right corner. Back to Nate. Nate will go inside and have the ball stripped away and stolen. No whistle there. They're really letting them play.
Boy, he got
a lot of contact without a lot of foul calls here in the first half from this crew. A new crew here that we have not seen before in any of these WAC games. Deshaun Lewis trying to work on Nate Lessing. He's got the size advantage. The shot is missed and then out of bounds off of a Racer, I think. No, it's going to be Racer ball.
No, he got that call right. Mike, they are really letting these teams play, and we haven't had a lot of scoring in the last 3 minutes, but we've had some great action.
Yep.
There's just no scoring.
Well, they're not scoring because they're getting fouled and they're not calling
it. They're getting beat up.
People are just
but it's been both ways.
Yeah. Yeah, they have definitely let them play. A.J. Atwater's on the floor for the first time now for Aquinas, a 6-foot junior out of Otsego, Michigan. And now they call a traveling violation on one of the Racers.
It's a good call. He got the ball. And, this is one of the things with, as a coach and as a team, you learn to read officials and teams and how they're going to call it.
Well, they figured it out now. It's every man for himself out there in this game. And now the Racers scramble, try to take the ball away. We're going to get a held ball. Arrow, though, favors the team in possession right now, and that's Aquinas, but great defense by Isaac Golson. So the arrow will change with 1:35 left here in the first half and a Racer lead of 29-25. We've gone about 3 minutes or more since either team has scored.
And it's not like they're holding the ball. They're attacking. Both teams are really attacking.
Z with the drive now for the Saints. Gets to the right block. Delivers it out to Deshaun Lewis. And Lewis lost control of his dribble. Had to go to the floor. It's still loose. Finally picked up by Luluashvili, and he hits a 3.
And they score off of the most unusual type of play. The ball bounced all over the place.
A young man from the state of Georgia, not U.S. state of Georgia, the Eastern European state of Georgia, makes it a 1-point ball game. Actually, the country of Georgia now. There's a shot or a play by Golson. He got bounced around, but no call. Back come the Saints, and they get the lead on a driving layup by Jesse Hillis. So this is the first lead all game for Aquinas College with under a minute to play in the half. They're up 30-29 and a full timeout called by the Racers. So we got a break on the Citizens National Bank scoreboard. We're back in 1 minute on UNOHRacers.com and here in Lima on 1150 WIMA. Less than a minute to play until the halftime break, and the Racers have seen their lead disappear for the first time today by 1 point on the breakout layup by Jesse Hillis. Caleb Williams called his second timeout of the half just to stop any kind of real bleeding here, trying to keep his team under control and get to the locker room in decent shape. Isaac Golson has it, now to Nate Lessing. Lessing Left of the key, behind the three-point line. Bounces to Mackey. Little turning left-hand hook, good for Willis Mackey Jr.
He was defended well that time, and he got the double team, but he just was able to jump over the top of the defense and score.
Racers get the lead back, and now 23 on the game clock, 19 on the shot clock for Aquinas. Doing just some ball waiting now out front, running this shot clock down. It's Z handing it off, and we're going to get an offensive foul on an illegal screen.
Kind of dribble ball handoff, and that time Z dribbled, but then he ran right into the defender. It wasn't a stationary pick.
That's on Z. Zezvaluluashvili for Aquinas, and also a turnover, their 7th. And the Racers have 8 seconds here to do something. Zach Montez off the screen to the wing. They defended well, got a shoot. And I don't know if they're going to get a shot off. They do not. So the Racers cannot get a shot off before the buzzer sounds. But they will go to the locker room with a 1-point lead on the Citizens National Bank scoreboard at halftime. University of Northwestern Ohio 31 and Aquinas College 30. We're going to take a 2-minute timeout. When we come back on our State Farm Ken Page coach's comment segment, we'll have Mike Armbruster, the women's coach here at UNOH, to chat about his game earlier today. But first, timeout for these messages on 1150 WIMA. All righty, we're back courtside here at Racer Gymnasium. Halftime of the men's game. UNOH with a slim 31-30 lead over the Aquinas College Saints. Our halftime guest on the Ken Page State Farm Insurance Coaches Comment segment is Mike Armbruster, the women's coach here at UNOH. His team had a really tough battle with Aquinas earlier today. Fell by 5 at 49-44. Coach, it just seemed like no matter what you tried, it just didn't quite pay off.
Yeah.
The finishing ratio was not the best today for the Racers.
Yeah, we shot 29%, Mike. I felt like in the first quarter when all we scored was 7 points that we actually had some really doggone good looks at the basket. Picked up a little bit there in the second quarter and scored 14. Went to halftime tied. But we just could never get the ball rolling offensively. There's a couple times where we had, I thought, some really doggone good takes to the baskets. We had some pretty good offensive rebounding numbers with 13 for the game, and we couldn't do anything more than just 10 second chance points. And so frustrating, a couple layups that we should have made that would have won us the game if we had made them. our kids really worked their butt off, I felt, not for lack of effort.
No, not at all. I mean, it was a really hard-fought game.
Yes, I felt like it was battle from the minute that ball went up. It was just a fight and a claw, and we had an opportunity there late where we were trying to get the ball to Dukes, and it didn't happen. Then we had an offensive rebound. Fateh had 12 of them, 12, 6 and 6 off since D. Got us the board, and then we had an opportunity for a layup to tie it, and we just couldn't get it in.
You know, it's almost you don't know that you can put these same two things in the same sentence. You had two players with double-doubles, and you only have 44 points.
Yeah.
It's hard. You don't see a stat like that.
Yeah.
And then another, Emily Patton with her typical 13-point game or so.
Absolutely.
Well, you just put it back and you go to look Monday night for Concordia. Now, there's a team that you beat on the road.
Yeah. Very close game. They're very good off the bounce, attacking the basket really, really well. We got to really sit down and guard, which I thought we did a great job at defending today, Mike. We held Aquinas to 49. They are averaging about 68 points a game, so hold them 20 points under, and we can only get there. So we really got to work on tomorrow. Getting a lot of shots up here in the gym. Not going to bang bodies too much, but then we play Monday, then we turn around and we're at Madonna on Wednesday, then we're at Lord's on Saturday. So this week, due to the snow delay, is going to be a pretty battle-out week. We got to make sure we get the academic stuff done as well, but got to put this game behind us, learn from it, and
well, one thing that was fairly apparent, the Aquinas zone really gave you some problems. So it was trying to find it. You couldn't get the ball. They wouldn't allow the insert pass all that often. And then the perimeter shooting was, again, a bit of a problem, like it's been more often than not this year.
Yeah. They're very good at the post, 31, 34, and then off the bench, number 30, are just three doggone good post players that have really good length, that really can take up a ton of space. And so we didn't do at times a great job of handling that.
Mike, you played with only 9 players dressed for action today. I know that the injury bug has hit you and a few other things, but I'm curious, just as an observer of the program, is it a situation where there's nobody on the JV level ready to come up, or do you not want to burn a redshirt year?
I think there's some of that there. I think we have, as far as our kids, you look at the numbers that we played. Fateh played 39, Emily plays 38. Those two usually play that many. Duke's got up there around 31 today. 28 for Tish Johnson, 20 for Kiera Kane. Jertay off the bench with 20. I thought she had a solid impact in the game defensively. And so just trying to really distribute our minutes well with the 9 players we have. I think if you look at most teams, I know Aquinas played a couple extra, but usually 9 or 10 is the number. And so we feel confident with the 9 or 10 that we have. Hopefully getting Jonay Lee, our really solid post player, off the bench back for Monday night's game. And then Maddie Schulte's always battling with that little ankle injury she's got right now, trying to get her back as well. But I think that right now we're sticking with where our lineup is, Mike.
All right, well, still in the contention to get to the postseason, and that's still very much a goal, and we look forward to seeing you again on Monday night.
Thank you so much, Mike. Appreciate it.
Mike Armbruster, the women's coach here at the University of Northwestern Ohio, part of our Ken Page State Farm Insurance Coaches Comment segment here at halftime. We're going to take a break for a word from Ken Page. Then we'll come back and rehash some stats here as we continue on the men's side. It's UNOH 31 and Aquinas 30 at halftime. You're listening to college basketball here on 1150 WIMA. Welcome back to the QP Hamburger broadcast booth here at Racer Gymnasium. Today, halftime of the men's game, 31-30 UNOH. And Bob, I don't think in all the games that we've done together over the years here at Racer Gymnasium, I've ever seen a halftime stat sheet where there were only 4 free throws taken total. I mean, we talked about during the game how the officials are letting them play. Racers were 2 of 4 at the line. Aquinas never got to the line in the first half.
And I'm sure the coach mentioned that to the officials when they come out, but they were letting them play, and it showed up. These stats are just like the score, 1 point difference. They're just almost even right across the ball, right across the line. The one that jumps out a little bit is that Aquinas has turned the ball over 9 times and UNOH only 5. That's +4. UNOH was not able to take advantage of that because both teams are not shooting well. 40% for Aquinas from the field, 37.5 for UNOH. Mostly because all the shots inside have been physically challenged and there's been no calls on it, which is fine. They're doing it both ways. The interesting thing in this game, Mike, is the three-point shooting. Aquinas is 6 for 11 for 54%, almost 55%, and UNOH is 5 for 10 for 50%. So out there deep in the distance, they're actually shooting the ball pretty well. So it's been an unusual game. It's been a very good game to watch, a very physical game. They're letting them play. Both teams are playing extremely hard. In your interview with Caleb Williams earlier, he mentioned the first time they played that a big difference in the game was when Aquinas came out of the locker room to start the second half. They played hard for about 5 or 6 minutes and got a lead, and he felt his team was a little soft in that period of time. So I know right now what he's telling his basketball team. Let's don't make the same mistake twice. But this game has the look of a game that could come down to the last shot for whoever's got possession of the ball.
Well, Willis Mackey Jr. leads the Racers with 10 points. He's had a couple of rebounds as well. Nobody for Aquinas in double figures. Justin Larry has 8 to lead the Saints at this particular point. So it's been pretty well spread around, as Bob pointed out. Rebounds, 20 for Aquinas, 18 for UNOH, 8 assists for the Saints, 7 for the Racers. And the Racers did win the turnover battle, only 5-9 for the Aquinas College Saints. So it'll all come down to who wants it more, and it'll be interesting to me, Bob, because we've seen how many games, zillions over the years that we've done, that it's officiated one way in the first half, and then all of a sudden the fouls start happening.
Yeah.
And so it'll be interesting to see if this crew stays true to the way they called it in the first half.
One of the things I've noted a lot here in the first quarter is like Lessing, for instance. He drove to the basket about 4 or 5 times, and there was serious contact when he was in the air. But the rule is that a defender, and they've emphasized this point this year in the college game, is allowed the space above him. He can go up. And if somebody comes into him while they're in the air, they're not going to call that. They're not supposed to call that. Well, in most games, Lessing will create a little of that. The good players know how to draw those fouls. Well, these officials are calling it straight. There is, unless the defender invades your area on that physical contact, they're not going to call it. And that's been a factor in this game, especially for Lessing, who has been able to get to the rim now 9 times. He's taken 9 shots. He's made 3. He's playing a good game, playing hard. But in many games, he'd have been on the free throw line, 5 or 8 times by now. Of course, so would have Aquinas, because it's being physical at the other end as well.
All righty. 31-30 Racers our score. We're going to take a final timeout. We'll come back with the second half after this 2-minute break. You're listening to Racer Basketball at UNOHRacers.com and here in Lima on 1150 WIMA. With Bob Sagerson, I'm Mike Mullen back at Racer Gymnasium. Second half about to get underway here with the UNOH men clinging to a 31-30 lead. They had the lead for 19 minutes and 20 seconds of the first half. Aquinas went ahead 30-29. The Racers got right back and scored a bucket. And that's where we are right now as we head into the final 20 minutes of play.
Be interesting to see if UNOH can establish McKay back down in the post. He has 10 points. He leads all scores, most of them coming on when he's down on the block. And Aquinas has done a great job of denying him, but the Racers are going to look to get back in there. Let's see if they can do that.
All right, Nate Lessing, Zach Montes, Olsby Mercer, Isaac Golson, Willis Mackey Jr., the same starting five for UNOH and the same starting five for the Saints as well here as we start the second half. Racers with the basketball. Golson has it on the left wing, guarded by Bo LePage. Out top for Nate Lessing. Lessing backs it off, goes to the corner to Golson. They lob to Mackey. Mackey double team quickly, shovels it to the wing. Lessing on the run will put up the runner and miss to the right side, and the rebound comes down to the Saints. They get it to Lewis, their top scorer. He'll deliver on the wing, and then before the drive by Justin Larry, he was fouled out on the wing. Willis Mackey picks up his second foul of the game and the first foul of the second half for UNOH. This was a very closely contested game in the first half. As we mentioned, only 4 free throws the entire 20 minutes. Very few fouls called. Z with the basketball now for the Saints. Gives it off on the wing to LePage. He'll get a screen. The pick and roll not there. Good defense by the Racers. Shot clock at 5. Shot 17-footer, no good, and the rebound comes to Mercer of UNOH. Olsby will bring it across the timeline to Montez. Now Golson in the right corner. Golson to the wing. Bounces to Willis Mackey. Mackey from the right side into traffic. Put it on the window. Got it. Willis Mackey Jr.
Through a double team. Every time he gets the ball, Mike, a player from the backside comes and they double him. He went through the double team to score that time.
With a lot of contact and with no whistle again.
Yeah. They're not going to blow that whistle.
Well, as long as they keep it consistent both ways.
Yep, absolutely.
Here's a shot from the corner, and that's no good. Rebound to Montez after the miss by Bo LePage. Montez across the timeline. Zach left side to Golson. Isaac will drive and dish. Montez in the right corner. Thought about a three. Comes out top to Lessing. Open three ball. Rims out. Mackey the rebound and stick back. Willis Mackey Jr.
He grabbed that rebound with one hand and put it back up with the same hand, never using the left hand to get the rebound or to score.
4-0 run by the Racers to start the second half. They lead by 5. Top of the key. 3 ball in the air. That's no good, and all the way out of bounds off the shot try by Deshaun Lewis. So the Racers will get possession in the backcourt. Either of these teams employing any kind of pressure defenses. They mostly try to play the good half-court man.
Yeah, they're playing hard enough in that half-court.
Isaac Golson comes right side to Montez. Montez tried to go baseline, not there. Mackey now will get into the paint and slip. Fortunately, he didn't hurt himself. He gets back up now as Golson will come inside. And the ball not clean. Picked up by Mackey. He'll shoot and miss. Rebound Montez. Too far under to retry. Zach will back it away, get to the rim, and before he is shooting, he finally draws a foul. Well, that time they had no choice because they knocked Zach Montez all the way out of bounds.
Well, the Racers have come out in the second half, and in the first 2 or 3 minutes, they're outworking Aquinas. They're doing to Aquinas what Aquinas did to them in their first game.
That foul on Zezva Lulashvili, the young man from Georgia, the Republic of Georgia, picks up his third foul. First of the half against, as Mackey goes inside, tried to lay it up, but had a little too much English on it, came off no good. Rebound Aquinas, they quickly get it into the forecourt. Hold a page on the near side, inside for Lewis, not there. Quick outlet to Lessing. Lessing comes to the left side and backs it away. Racers lead by 5 with the rock. Lessing goes all the way inside, draws the foul on the shot. That's going to be on Deshaun Lewis, I believe.
And Mike, that's the first time he's actually drawn that type of foul, but it was because the defense wasn't there to help. They had to come from farther distance, so they did invade his space.
Nate Lessing's a 64% free throw shooter. His first one is up and good. Gives him 8 points for the day.
He's a natural scorer, Lessing is. He looks to score. When he gets the ball, he doesn't force it.
And he gets them both. Nate Lessing, points 8 and 9 for the afternoon for the young man from Sidney Lehman High School, or Sidney Fairlawn, I'm sorry. And now, as the Saints get to the window, they miss a shot, and then the retry by Jesse Hills is off target. Racers come the other way. Golson will back it off to the left corner with a 7-point lead. Racers have matched their biggest advantage of the day. Olsby Mercer on the drive to the baseline. Dumps it out to Willis Mackey. Thought about a three. Back to Mercer. His three is open, and it's short. But Golson's there to get the rebound, and he's fouled.
And again, for the second or third possession, UNOH has tracked down an offensive rebound to get another shot. And
all 4 of his teammates go to get him off the floor. That's the way they appreciate the hustle that time by Isaac Golson Jr. Timeout called by Aquinas. It's on the Citizens National Bank scoreboard. Racers 37, Aquinas 30. We're back in 30 seconds on 1150 WIMA. Alongside Bob Sagerson, I'm Mike Mullen back in the Cupie Hamburger broadcast booth at UNOH. And the Racers have started well here in the second half. A 6-0 run. They come out of the timeout in possession. Lob pass to Mackey, right of the key, back to Montez. Top side for Mercer. Olsby down the right side, lobbed it into Mackey. Low ball, Mercer picks it up. In traffic, scores. Wow, what body control by Olsby Mercer to give him 4. And an 8-0 run to start the half for the Racers. They're up by 9.
Second shots have fueled UNOH in the second half. They're getting offensive rebounds.
Justin Larry in possession now out top. Goes to Hillis, back to Larry. Larry will fire a three and miss. Rebound, tipped around, loose ball on the deck. Held ball is the call. Arrow will favor Aquinas.
During that last time out, Mike, Coach Ryan Bertoya was really working the officials, and I could read his lips. We haven't shot a free throw yet. You know, so he's working them right now.
Yeah, well, that's the job of a coach,
and that's in the coaching manual.
Absolutely.
If you haven't shot a free throw,
you do it the right way.
Yeah.
But you just make your point.
Yep.
And the loose ball, or rather the inbound pass, almost stolen by Montez. He knocked it out of bounds. Aquinas will try again, this time from the sideline. So the Saints have gone almost 5 minutes without a point here in the second half, as we're down to the 15:30 mark. And they've got the same number they had at halftime. Racers have scored 8 in the meantime to lead by 9. Here's the give and go. Hillis gets to the rim. He'll draw the foul, and there's the first free throws for Aquinas coming. Little Bronx cheer from the Aquinas bench. The foul called on Isaac Golson, his first.
I mean, that's just the way it works because that young man went up and didn't get hit nearly as hard as Lesson got hit on every shot.
I've been waiting all game for this, Bob. Jesse Hillis is at the line. Right. Jesse Hillis is a freshman out of Caledonia, Michigan. He just made the 39th out of 40 free throws this year. 97.4%, and he knocks these down. He's now 40 out of 41.
Wow.
I've never seen that before this late in the season. That somebody's shooting 97% with 41 attempts at the free throw line. Racers face pressure and lose the ball. Great pressure near midcourt. Lessing tried to find Golson on the near side, but that's the 6th turnover for the Racers.
And this is a tough time here because you're starting the substitution pattern here.
Yep. Jesse Hillis will move to the right baseline, throw it out top to Larry. Now to T.J. Hunter on the far side. And the 3 ball is no good, and the Racers get a rebound, and there'll be a foul, no doubt about that. Holsby Mercer was knocked to the ground on the rebound try. Number 2, Miles Patton called for the personal, his first. And that's the 3rd team foul, and now we get to our media break. Citizens National Bank scoreboard here at Racer Gymnasium shows UNOH with 39, Aquinas with 32. Back in a minute on UNOHRacers.com and 1150 WIMA.
Basketball fans, again, this reminder is a part of the makeup. Monday night, Wolverine Hoosier Athletic Conference action here at the Garage. Doubleheader starts at 5:30. Huskin Concordia.
Alrighty, we're back at Racer Gymnasium with 14:49 left to play in our ball game. Racers lead by 7 at 39-32, coming out of the media break. And you can tell that the defensive intensity has been ratcheted up by the Aquinas Saints.
Yeah, they're trying to grab momentum back. They came out of the locker room, and Racers kind of took it to them for a few minutes, but they're gonna put pressure on now. It worked a minute ago when they got the turnover. Let's see if it works this time.
All right, Racers will face full court pressure now as they inbound. Nate Lessing, the trigger man, dumps it into Zach Montez. They run to trap him, but Zach dribbles right by everybody. He'll go all the way down the left side and then get tripped. Oh. I guess he didn't get tripped. He must have just slipped out of bounds because they called a turnover on Zach Montez.
I think he slipped on that.
He must have slipped because the official was standing right there and immediately pointed Aquinas ball. So second turnover of the half for the Racers.
Aquinas wanted him to, Coach Williams wanted Montez to slow that down and set up.
Yep. All right, here come the Saints now. On the dribble is Derek Murray. They bring it back out top to Murray after he gave up the ball. Came through the rim and then he walked clearly that time. So that's a turnover, their 10th of the ball game.
That's it. Aquinas kind of spreads the floor out unless there's players look to attack off the dribble. Yeah. And that time he just took
One of the problems here at Racer Gymnasium is they don't have a real good system to keep the floor dry, particularly in the men's game with so many bodies that hit the deck and go with the perspiration. The little mop system that they have will dry it off, but it doesn't completely dry it, and therefore there's still some slippage at times, and we've noticed it more than once. Racers in the half-court offense. Lessing for three, right corner, no good at the shot clock buzzer. And we're going to get a foul call on the Racers.
Racers foul is
Zach Montes picks up a personal, trying to go get that rebound. His first, team's third here in the second half.
Well, Mike, the temperature outside is going up. It's almost to 40 now.
Yeah.
And so it's going to cause some condensation on this gym floor. It's happened before.
39-32 Racers our score. Aquinas with the ball. And the play goes into the paint, and the shot is up, and that's no good. And the retry is also no good, and then Justin Kemp clears for UNOH.
Aquinas has missed a lot of shots like that.
Aquinas has not had a field goal yet in the second half. They do not have a goal of any kind in the second half, just 2 free throws. Here's Mercer, shot blocked as he went into the lane. Golson gets in traffic, finds Mercer again, top of the key, tries to work through traffic, not there. A lot of contact again, no whistle. Hillis on transition, and that rimmed out on him. And the loose ball is finally controlled and knocked out of bounds by who? By Aquinas.
Boy,
late call there on the part of the official. I think he was looking for help from one of his buddies. Didn't get any, so he made the call.
Mike Aquinas has missed
Yeah,
some really easy shots in this half.
Well, they're over for the half in 7 minutes now.
But it's not like they're taking bad shots.
No.
It's just one of those nights where everything is rolling out and they're still in the game.
Only a 7-point Racer lead. Their biggest has been 9 here a couple of minutes ago. Then the 2 free throws got it back to 7, and we've been there ever since against really airtight defense by both of these teams. It's tough to find any kind of an open shot no matter what team you're rooting for. Mackey on the left wing will get into traffic and a whistle. Going to be a foul on a Saint. Miles Patton picks up his second personal foul, team's 5th, but this is a shooting opportunity for Willis Mackey Jr., who is a 4% free throw shooter for the year. So Willis at the line for the first time in this game, puts it up and in. 15 points for the senior out of Freeport, Bahamas. Willis's career high is 25, which he got earlier this year in a game against Dearborn. And he makes them both here. So he's got 16 for the afternoon. And the Racers lead again by 9, 41-32. 12:40 left to play in regulation. Deshaun Lewis out top. Right side pass to Hillis. They go into the paint and a whistle. And that's going to be a shooting foul for. Oh, I guess are they going to give Patton the basket?
Yeah.
That was a really strange play because the whistle blew. It looked like he was stopping play. Patton continued through it. He'll get one, so they give him a basket. The foul was on Bailey Gardner, his second. Free throw by Patton up and in. So a 3-point play for the Saints makes it a 6-point game. 41-35 UNOH. They break the press. Lodgy some more into the forecourt. Again, this is the time when most of the bench players on the floor now. I'm saying really only 2 bench players on the floor right now for Caleb Williams. 3 starters in as well. Zach Montes works left side to Mackey. Mackey against single pressure. Out top, Lessing wide open. The 3 ball won't go though. And the rebound goes to Montes. Tries again and fills it up.
Zach Montes went up with the big people inside, pulled it down.
All right, Taylor White on the floor now for Aquinas. Gets it to Hillis. Hillis around to Deshaun Lewis. Now they go to the post for Patton. Patton works into deep traffic and scores again with a foul. Boy, that's twice in a row that Miles Patton, a 6'4" freshman out of Brooklyn, New York, using some of that playground action.
Well,
and he got it to work.
They isolated Bailey Gardner on the post defensively twice, and
Gardner's going to come out, and Olsby Lewis is going to go right, or Olsby Mercer is going to go right back in after Gardner, the freshman, got beat twice by Miles Patton.
Well, it's going to cost him 6 points if he makes this. But
the shot is good.
And the point is not that he didn't guard him well when he got the ball, as much as he let him catch the ball 2 plays in a row. He's got to find a way to get around and not let that ball get to the guy he's guarding in the low post like that.
Now it's a 5-point game, 11:42 left to play. 43-38 UNOH, the lead in the ball. Still in the backcourt. Montez crosses the timeline and gets fouled, and that's a run-out foul on Deshaun Lewis, his third.
One more, and the Racers are going to be in the 1-and-1, and that's going to help because points are a bit hard to come by in this game.
Right. Yeah, we only had, I think, 3 fouls the entire first half, and now we've had 11 here in 9 minutes of the second half.
Yeah, that's exactly what you talked about.
Laji Samora takes the inbounds pass for UNOH, holding out top of the key. Right side bouncer to Nate Lessing, and now Mercer on the left point. Back to Willis Mackey, right side. Willis spins in traffic and put it up. Nice touch by Willis Mackey Jr.
Yeah, he spun and did that with his left hand. Really a tough shot to make.
Really, they don't have any kind of defense that can stop Willis if he gets in close.
Well, they doubled him better in the first half.
Now outside is A.J. Atwater. Atwater needs help and almost threw it away. They save it back to Atwater for an open 3 left wing. No good. Rebound tipped off the glass. Finally controlled by the Saints. They get it inside, and a nice play from Atwater to Miles Patton to get him an easy bucket. Patton on the right block scores from point-blank range. Still a 5-point Racer lead at 45-40. Caleb Williams surveying things from the Racer bench, standing up over there. Ball into Mackey again. Mackey out to Lessing. Good ball movement to Samora, deep left corner. Samora through traffic, nice to Mercer. Mercer can't finish. Boy, Olsby was right under the rim and he couldn't get it in. And then on the rebound, it comes down and it's tied up.
He tried to clutch it in the air. He had the shot and he brought it back down and brought it back up again while he was in the air. He didn't have to clutch it. I think it threw his shot off.
He did, and in a position, Bob, where really at his size he could have jammed it.
Yeah.
But he tried to feather it and it circled out on him. Racers will inbound from the baseline. They bring it into Mercer. Mercer to Mackey. Mackey was defended well, and Patton forces the turnover.
And the Racers right now are so focused on Mackey that they've got to remember they're in the game too. Coach Williams did not like that call. He felt like Mackey was bumped while the ball was in the air. And he was.
Luluashvili catches the ball on the left wing. Z gets it back out top to Atwater. Again, Z will shoot and miss a 3. Rebound tipped right out of the hands of a Racer who was rebounding, but it went out of bounds, so the Racers get possession. And another media timeout is upon us with 9:58 to play. Our score on the Citizens National Bank scoreboard, UNOH 45, Aquinas College 40. We're back in a minute on UNOHRacers.com at 1150 WIMA. All right, back at Racer Gymnasium, 9:58 to go. Racers lead by 5. You know, Bob, you watch a lot of basketball games, and you just kind of go with the flow. I'm exhausted. this game is just one fight.
Yeah,
it's just so physical.
Very physical game, and they've been allowed to play, and both teams are really getting after it. It's a 5-point game, but even when UNOH went out to 9, you just had the feeling that Aquinas is going to close. This is going to be a tough game. It's going to come down to the last shot.
Well, each of these teams are 6-18 overall, so you know that they're very equally balanced, and it's been that way all afternoon. Racers get it across the timeline. Laji Samora working out top. Right side pass to Zach Montes. To Lessing on the right block. Nate going to turn and almost lose possession. Finds Mercer. Mercer into traffic and does finish this time. Osby Mercer in heavy traffic.
Strong finish, and again Lessing went inside and just got hit.
Well, but the defense is solid. I mean,
right.
they're playing really good defense.
Straight up
both
defense.
of these teams.
Right.
Yeah, there's a little contact, but they're getting mostly ball and just defending you like crazy. 3-ball try is going to go up off the top of the backboard, but comes down to the Saints. They'll get a reset. So that shot by Larry didn't go, and this one is also no good, but Patton cleans it up and scores. Miles Patton has been a one-man gang here in the second half. He has all 10 points, 10 of the 12 for Aquinas have come from freshman Miles Patton out of Brooklyn, New York.
Aquinas getting second and third shots at last couple of possessions.
Patton, a guy that only averages 3.5 a game, has a dozen already here today in Lima. 47-42, UNOH still with the lead. But it's like pulling teeth each time down at the offensive end. Mercer tries a three and misses. Long rebound, Mackey Jr. Racers reset it. Montez chooses the fresh shot clock now, and Caleb Williams calls the play. They let Laji Samora come out to the point and begin it with a right side bounce pass to Lessing. Now they reverse to Mercer, left wing. Now Mackey. Mackey comes from the right side into the paint, off the window and in. Willis Mackey Jr. to 20 in the point total.
Again, he scores over 2 players. He's just been phenomenal tonight.
Too bad he couldn't have been healthy all year.
Oh, yeah.
Missed 10 games early on
Yeah.
with a knee surgery issue.
And the games he came back, he wasn't ready for a while.
Right. There's a good screen and a shot by Atwater that's good for 3. A.J. Atwater, his first basket of the day. And we're going to get a timeout called by Aquinas after the made 3. We'll keep it here with a 4-point Racer lead at 49-45.
Well, that time the freshman Laji Samora was in the game, and he got lost on a pick and on a switch. And instead of taking the other player running out to the opposite wing, he stayed in the paint area and got confused, and his man drilled one from the right wing. So a big defensive mistake and breakdown by the young freshman cost him 3 points.
Well, when you look at the Aquinas roster, if you're a coach like Caleb Williams, you look at a guy like Deshaun Lewis, the 6'4 junior, averaging 15 a ball game, so you set your game plan to stop him. They've done that. But they haven't stopped Miles Patton,
right.
who comes off the bench and gets
right.
12 for you.
Right. He's a Brooklyn, New York player.
All right, 4-point game, 7:40 left. That's a long, long time in the game of college basketball.
And this is, again, this is when the bench is going to play a big role in this game. You've got a couple bench players in here now, or players that...
Well, actually just one.
One, but
Tanner Eubank.
He just took the other one out.
Racers break the press. Nate Lessing finds Eubank. Tanner out of Paw Paw, Michigan, junior college transfer. Comes in as a junior here to UNOH. Ball to Mackey, out top Mercer, around to Lessing, shot clock at 4. Mercer's got to shoot a 3 and nails it. How about Osby Mercer? Big shot for the Racers.
He's having a good game too, Mike. He's had some great defense, great rebounds as well.
Bumps the lead to 7 at 52-45 as we go inside the 7-minute mark. Pass out top to Deshaun Lewis, back on the wing, and a whistle and a travel called against Zvezda Luluashvili. Only the second turnover this half for the Saints, but a costly one there. Gives the Racers a chance to push the lead to 9 or more. Lessing through the double team and nearly a turnover, but the Racers save it. Cross-court pass to Golson from Lessing. Nate gets it back. Great dump to Mercer for the finish. And a whistle. We've got a Saint down and injured across the way. Not sure exactly what happened. We were watching the ball. Osby Mercer gets credit for a layup on a great pass that time from Isaac Golson. But one of the Saints went down hard over there and is holding the head area. Again, Jenny Pitts and a Racer trainer out quickly to take a look.
I didn't see it either.
You might, in this physical of game, Bob, you could take an elbow, you could take a knee. You never know exactly what happens.
Right.
But not even sure. Can't even tell you who's down yet. Can't see the number.
It might be Z.
Well, it could be, but we're not going to guess. So he'll hopefully get up shortly.
That's the third player for Aquinas to go down for a lengthy period of time. We had 2 girls go down in the first ball game, and one of them took about 5 minutes. And this young man is still down, and there seems to be something in the head area.
Yeah. I think they're just trying to give him time to regroup. But the Racers have a 9-point lead again at 54-45, and that matches their biggest lead today. UNOH trying to win only their 3rd conference game. They're in last place in the conference, still with a mathematical chance to make the playoffs, but they'd have to win out, basically.
And as you mentioned, Aquinas is obviously in a position where they have to win games to keep that last spot. But you wouldn't know that these are two. This is a game between 2 lower end of the conference. These guys are going at it. I mean, this has been as tough a game as we've seen in a long time. It's been fun to watch, even though it's been a physical game and not a lot of free throws and quite a bit of physicality. It's just been a fun game to watch.
You might mention here, while we have a breather, while they tend to the injured Aquinas player, that Monday night we'll have Racer basketball here on 1150 WIMA. Concordia will be in town. The women will start at 5:30. The men will play at 7:30. And for those listening here in the Lima area, we invite you to come out and watch. This Racer basketball is a lot of fun to watch. I mean, you would not know the caliber of basketball they play here just from what you read, because they don't get a whole lot of print coverage. And for those who follow them routinely and have listened to our internet broadcasts over the years, knows what kind of basketball they play. And Bob, you can attest more than anything else. You're a Hall of Fame basketball coach. You know what kind of talent that comes into this gym.
Yeah, and when we first started doing games, I have to admit, when I was coaching all those years, I didn't have time to come and watch games like that. But when I first started watching these games, I was impressed with the level of talent. I had no idea that many good players are walking in here and playing. It's NAIA Division II, and there are some terrific players at that level.
Well, it is Zvezda Luluashvili, the young man from the Georgia Republic, walking off under his own power, and that's good. He got hit in the face somehow. I don't know if he took an elbow, if he ran into a knee or something as he was diving for a ball. Can't quite tell you, but he's still tending to the jaw area.
Yeah. I mean, it's
like
been
he took
physical.
An uppercut someplace.
Yeah, it's been physical, Mike. I mean, everybody's going to be sleeping well tonight after this one.
All right, 9-point game, Aquinas basketball after the layup by Olsby Mercer. And Atwater takes it, comes on the near side to Larry. Back to Atwater on the weave to Hillis. Hillis with a nice shovel inside and a great finish by Justin Larry with a foul. Boy, that was a great play by the Aquinas Saints coming out of that injury timeout.
Somebody got lost on defense in there because
Olsby Mercer picked up his first foul of the game, but it's the 6th team foul. Larry tries to make it a 3-point play and does.
He was too wide open on that play, Mike.
Well, the Saints only been at the line 5 times, but they made all 5 of them. Racers are 6 of 8 in the free throw department. And Tanner Eubank is trapped, releases to Lessing, now to Mercer. Racers want to use a little clock. They're up 6 at 54-48.
Too early to worry about the clock, Mike. They've been using clock all game, but I mean, there's a lot of time left in this game. They're going to have to score.
5 to shoot. Mercer going to have to launch one for 3. Off the back rim, no. And the tip rebound is finally controlled by Aquinas. Mackey went down hard. Atwater for 3. Around the iron, no. Rebound loose to the Saints. And Larry shoots in the lane, too strong. It's still grabbed this time by Willis Mackey, and they finally found Mackey in the backcourt.
Mackey has been in the middle of everything. He was 1-on-3 on offensive rebound. There were 3 Aquinas players that were trying to get that rebound, and he found a way to grab it away from them.
Hey, this resembles more like mixed martial arts than basketball.
I'm telling you what.
You don't want to be.
I'll tell you what,
the faint-hearted don't want to be in this ball game. I'll tell you that.
We haven't seen this refereeing crew yet. This is our first chance at that, but I'm sure that when Caleb Williams, he may have seen them before, but he's going to take some notes on this crew.
All righty, the foul was on Justin Larry, his second, but it's team foul 7, so 1-1 for Willis Mackey, and the first one's good. So Mackey will get a bonus.
Aquinas has been very successful getting offensive rebounds in the last 2 or 3 minutes. UNOH has to shut that down.
And the second one's good. 22 points for Willis Mackey, 56-48 UNOH. 5:30 left in regulation. Larry has it at the high point. Now to Patton on the wing, back to Atwater. He likes to shoot that 3, but he misses this time, and then a foul called on Zach Mattis.
And again, another offensive rebound.
Saint went down hard on the floor that time. T.J. Hunter grabbed that rebound, and when Zach Mattis fouled him, he went to the floor, and that's the 7th foul against UNOH, and personal number 2 on Zach Mattis. So Hunter's going to shoot, and he's an 80% free throw shooter for the year. This will be a 1-and-1 opportunity for T.J. Hunter. And the first one is no good, and Wolfsby Mercer grabs the UNOH rebound. So that's the first free throw missed today for Aquinas College. 8-point Racer lead with 5 and change left to play. Willis Mackey to Mercer on the right side. Back to Mackey, tipped away from him. Montes collects it in the corner, doesn't shoot. They go to Mackey again. Willis drives through traffic, finds Lessing. Lessing will get to the rim and score with 1. That time Lessing just overpowered the defender, went right up through him, got it off of the glass and drew the foul.
Well, that time what a nice play as he had the athletic ability to, in the air, to end his shot, bring it down, and then bring it back up as the defender went by and fouled him. Pretty tough shot.
Justin Larry's 3rd foul puts Lessing at the free throw line. No good, but the free throw miss is out of bounds off of Aquinas. So the Racers keep possession with a 10-point lead. That's their biggest of the day. And it's going to be a timeout called by Aquinas College, so we'll take a break as well on the Citizens National Bank scoreboard. UNOH 58, Aquinas 48. We're back in 1 minute. You're listening to Racer Basketball on UNOHRacers.com and 1150 WIMA. All righty, 4:51 left to play in this basketball game, and the Racers have the biggest lead they've had all day, Bob, and they've done it with some gritty play inside, some good rebounding, and the fact that Aquinas has had all of a sudden A.J. Atwater come in to try some threes. He's made 1, but he's missed 3 threes. And that's been a big part of why the Racers have gotten the long rebounds.
No, absolutely. And the Racers still take advantage of their tremendous advantage on inside with Willis Mackey, but Osby Mercer has made some big plays down the stretch here. Obviously, so has Lessing. And it's just surprising that either team can get 10 points away from the other, and this is a long way from over, Mike.
It's interesting to look at the Aquinas stat sheet. They have 8 players who have double-digit made threes on the year. That's 8 players. That's way more than you see on most teams.
And that could come to play as we wind down the end of this game.
Montez off of the inbounds pass gives to Nate Lessing, left point. Nate going to try to get to the glass again, and he does, and he scores again.
Wow, he took a hit that time.
The whirling dervish, Nate Lessing, out of Sydney, Ohio, makes it a 12-point Racer lead at 60-48. And now Aquinas has to really be efficient with the basketball. Whistle as they try a three before the shot.
Block.
What do we got? A block? An offensive illegal pick.
Yes.
Wow, that took away a three because Hillis made one for the right wing, but it won't count. And the foul was on T.J. Hunter.
Put Laji Zamora right on the ground. It was not a block. It was like, well, no, it was a block. It was an NFL block.
Now that's also the 12th turnover of the ball game for Aquinas. So the Racers now with their best lead of the day at 12. Golson trapped, needs help, finds Mackey. Good play to Mercer. Mercer will come inside. What a play on the far side by Patton to block the shot, but Willis Mackey picked it up and scored. Wow, what a play by Miles Patton, the freshman out of the Brooklyn, and now just a bad pass on the part of T.J. Hunter. He thought the player was going to stand still on the right wing, and the player cut for the basket. The pass was on its way, and it went right into the foot of head coach Ryan Batoya.
That part of that play was the coach Ryan Batoya kicking the ball like he was kicking a field goal.
It was a drop kick on the part of the head coach, but he didn't have much choice. It was coming right at his ankle.
And literally nothing has gone right for Aquinas
here.
Well,
now Aquinas has really kind of fallen apart here in the last couple of minutes as they've seen the Racer lead go from 4 to 14.
Yeah, and now you'll see the clock being used for under 4 with a 12-point, 12-point lead now, 14-point lead.
Yeah, it's a 14-point lead after the last basket by Mackey. Mackey's a point shy of his career high. He's at 24.
The best I've ever seen him play, Mike.
3:56 to play.
And it's not one of those games where they're beating somebody up and, he's just getting points because the opponents aren't that strong. They've needed every one of those 24 points. He's been fabulous tonight.
And Mackey at halftime,
I think he had 10.
Let's see, he had 10 at halftime with a couple of rebounds. So he's had 14 here in the second half.
Well, he and Mercer have really taken over the last 4 or 5 minutes of this game, and Lessing is also.
And Osby Mercer's only a sophomore. People forget that. I mean, he played a lot as a freshman, but he has really grown up this year and is now a really solid NAIA basketball player.
Well, they have two sophomores and 2 freshmen on the floor in this last 5 to 10 minutes.
Right.
And bodes well for the future of UNOH.
All right, they get it into Zach Modis. Modis against the double team. Comes through traffic and draws a foul. And that'll be on Jesse Hillis. It's also the 10th team foul on Aquinas. So now the Racers are in the double bonus for the final 3:52. And Zach Modis, a 70% free throw shooter at the line. First one is good.
I look at Zach Modis, and he's such a good player and has been such a great addition to this program. Just wonder how many thousands of shots he's going to take this summer and get that three-point shot lined up. And when he does that, he's going to be almost impossible to guard.
Yeah. Modis again shoots and hits. Gets both free throws. He's got 9. And the Racer lead now stands at 16 points. 64-48. They are on a 10-0 run. And an overplay by Modis, but he knocked it out of bounds. Great anticipation on that bounce pass to the paint intended for Justin Larry. Modis tipped it away over the end line. Aquinas ball, 18 on the shot clock. They get it into Larry. Larry right baseline against Willis Mackey. Larry double pumps and then shoots, and nice play to finish. Justin Larry.
Because Mackey played great defense on that play.
He sure did.
Better offense than defense.
64-50 Racers. Token pressure now in the backcourt. Modis crosses the timeline with a pass to Golson. Golson will bring it back out top, use a little more shot clock. We're down to 3 minutes and 10 seconds.
Smart, very smart play. He knows he's not playing against them now. He's playing the clock.
7 to shoot. Modis still dribbling. Zach down the lane, dumps it to Mercer. 3 ball, ooh, halfway down. Boy, it looked good on the way. But it rimmed out, and now away from the ball, we got a collision. And one of the Saints went to the deck, and I think they're going to call a foul on UNOH. Willis Mackey picks up his third. And this will be a 1-on-1 for Justin Larry again.
Justin Larry, 1-1.
And that shot is good.
Justin Larry, only a freshman, and he's had a really nice game tonight. I think he's got 14 points right now.
Yep, 14, and, looking for 15.
So we'll see a lot of him over the next 3 years.
And the second one is in and out, but the ball comes back to the Saints, and they reset. But the Racers couldn't grab that second free throw miss. And they've got a 13-point lead, but Aquinas still has the ball. Boulder Page back on the floor now, has the rock. Right side pass to that was Hillis that went inside, hit a block by the Racers.
Yep.
5 on the shot clock left for Aquinas when they inbound, and they'll bring Miles Patton back off the bench.
Well, regardless of what happens here, they used the whole clock shot. I mean, they did a great job defensively.
3 trying away, no good. Rebound, Nate Lessing, UNOH. 2:20 left for UNOH. And their 7th win of the year and only the 3rd in the conference. If they can hang on here, up by 13, it looks good at the moment. Racers again will use clock. Zach Montes off to Nate Lessing. Now Mackey around to Mercer. Mercer finds Mackey. Back to Willis, or rather Olsby Mercer. Mercer with 3 to shoot. Mercer's going to launch and miss everything. That'll be a shot clock violation. Turns into the 3rd turnover of the half for the Racers and the 8th of the ball game. Still 64-51 UNOH, 1:50 left on the Citizens National Bank scoreboard clock. Hillis on the near wing, out top to Patton. Nice bounce pass through the paint, and the nice finish low on the right for Truman Hillis. Truman Hillis is the older brother of Jesse Hillis, both out of Caledonia, Michigan. Playing here for Aquinas. Racers might be taking too much air out of the ball, and Caleb Williams calls a timeout. It's one thing to hold the ball, Bob. It's another thing not to get a decent shot off at the end of your possession. So Caleb Williams calls the timeout with a 11-point lead and 1:24 to play.
Well, I was watching Coach Ryan Bertoya, who is really working the officials that time. He thought it was a 10-second call on the way up the floor. It wasn't. But he's still working. I mean, he's still working those kids pretty hard, and so is Caleb Williams. Yep. I mean, the last 2 offensive possessions, UNOH did a nice job of working the shot clock down, but did not get the shot that Caleb Williams wanted, and he's coaching that right now. He doesn't want to just get the clock down. He wants a good play that gets him a good-looking shot.
Okay. During the halftime interview of the women's game when we talked to Caleb Williams, he made an interesting comment. He said, he's got 6 games in February. He says, my goal is to be 1-0 at the end of each of those games, and then we'll see where we stand in the standings. Yeah. Well, if he does that, he would wind up the season 12-18, and they would be 8-12 in conference play. Yeah. That might just be good enough to get them into the bracket if they can win their final 6. Now, the fact that that's a real long shot, although 4 of the 6 are at home, and none of the teams left are the top echelon teams.
Right, no, absolutely. It could be done. And the other thing that I think Williams is doing, he's looking at the long view. He's got these young kids. He wants to play well at the end of the year. He wants to see the maturity begin so that they have something to build on. And he's seeing that. I mean, a game like this tonight is really important, not just for the senior Mackey, who is having a great game and led him to this victory if they hold on to it. It's good for these freshmen, because they're seeing what it takes to win. It's consistent effort, not just playing good for part of a game. It's all of a game that counts.
All right, the Racers inbound. They've got 15 on the shot clock. Montez is bumped on the far wing by Jesse Hillis. So Montez will get to the line for 2. Zach with a chance to get into double figures. If he had another time, he averages 15 a ball game. He's got 9 so far today. And there's number 10.
And we're going to see him for 3 more years. I mean, that's the nice thing about that.
Interesting story out of Pickerington North High School. Went to the state tournament a couple of years ago. Decided he was not going to play college basketball. Went to the University of West Virginia for 2 years as just a student. Then got the basketball itch again. Came to UNOH as a athletic freshman, and he has been a real find for this team. And that is a miss now by the Saints, and Mackey rebounds, and then we got a backcourt foul on Aquinas.
Aquinas has no choice but to foul at this point. And again, that rebound was pulled down by Mackey, who has just been in the middle of everything tonight. This is the best game he's played as a UNOH racer.
Foul charge to number 30, Jesse Hillis again, his third. Nate Lessing shooting 2 for the Racers, and the first one is good. 14 for Nate.
You get 4. I know Williams would be really happy to see this. 4 players in double figures, 24, 14, 11, and 10. That's what you consistently need to win in a league like this. You can't just rely on 2 scorers. You've got to get 4 people into double figures and play great defense, and they've done that tonight.
Lessing's second try, a little off target, rebounded by the Saints. So the Racers up by 13 with less than a minute to play. It'll be a UNOH win. They let Hillis get to the rim, but he can't finish. And Mackey grabs another Racer rebound. And now we're going to get another backcourt foul on Aquinas as they stop the clock with 48 seconds left to play. And again, it'll be Nate Lessing shooting free throws. So Hillis now has 4 fouls, all of them here in the second half.
And he's like in total shock over that call. He almost fainted. I don't know why, but but that last shot that Hillis missed, he was right there. He should have made that shot. And Aquinas has missed a lot of those shots. Some nights, that's just what happens.
Now, Jesse's a freshman, so he's learning the game at this level as well.
And he's for a freshman, he's played a well of the game. He's going to be a load.
All righty, both free throws good for Nate Lessing. He now has 16 points. It's 68-53. Just a matter of what the final will be. And the drive and reverse layup is really done nicely by Justin Larry, moving left to right on the baseline. And Aquinas is going to play it out, even though they have no chance to win this game. They're going to call the timeout and do a little coaching here.
He's got some young kids in the game now. He's going to kind of show them
Ryan
out.
Bertoya was an assistant at Aquinas for 4 years, got the head job 3 years ago. This is his 3rd season.
He's got him into the postseason tournament at least once, and I think they qualified a couple of years ago for the national tournament. So he's done a nice job there.
And he's got a relatively young team here. He's got several freshmen that have contributed quite a bit to this, including Justin Larry and Jesse Hillis and Miles Patton. I mean, those 3 guys today. Larry's got 16, Patton has 12, and Hillis has 7.
Yeah,
and they've only got 55 total.
Right.
So
they played.
Your 3 freshmen have done a whale of a job if you're the Aquinas College group.
And Aquinas is up in the Grand Rapids area, and I've said this before. Grand Rapids has got obviously a huge metropolitan area with a lot of high schools. They get after it up there. There is really good basketball played in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and so they've got a nice area they can recruit from.
And interestingly enough, not one player on their roster is from the hometown, which you don't see too often.
Yeah.
They got nobody from Grand Rapids. Racers get it inbounds cleanly, get it across the timeline cleanly. Mackey delivers to Golson, back out top to Montes.
Great job.
And now everybody's just going to kind of relax, I think. The shot clock is at 10 and the game clock is at 16, so the Racers do have to shoot, but they may not. They may just let time expire here, give the ball over. It's a 13-point lead right now, and they will just go to a shot clock violation. So that'll be the best turnover Caleb Williams would ever see on a day like today.
Give the Racers a lot of credit.
Came out strong in the second half. And the last shot of the game is up and in. That is by Justin Larry. And the ball is touched, and the buzzer will sound, and that's it. 68-57 our final. The UNOH Racers improve to 7-18 on the year, 3-12 in conference play, and they avenge a 5-point loss to Aquinas a month ago up in Grand Rapids. Aquinas now 6-19 on the year and 5-10 in conference play. We will get to our Fat Jack's Pizza post-game show coming up next after this timeout on 1150 WIMA. All right, Dave, where do we stand spot-wise? All right, give me all 2 minutes here. We're going to try to get Caleb on for a brief word. Hey, Caleb, Coach, can you come up? All right.
Good afternoon, everyone.